Go live now. Right. Awesome. We are live now.
I can see the live is going.
Okay, fantastic. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for deciding tuning into 1 Minute Motivation community page. For those who don't know me, my name is Asi, founder of 1 Minute Motivation. And our mission is to introduce people and their ideas and experiences that will practically help you to take action to change your life for better. And these are real life stories, real experiences. I'm here with an old friend of mine. He and I used to work for the same organization long time back. We were doing sales, door to door, going door to door selling telephone lines. That's a story for another another time. A friend actually who's close to me and dear to me. So before we came online, Glenn and I tested whether the connection is working properly. And we struggled about close to 45 to 1 hour to fix this problem, but we couldn't do anything, or rather I couldn't do anything. And then suggested, let me go to my neighbor's house. They have a stable connection and we can do it from there. And I was just thinking, what if he say no, all this negative stuff can you do? But the that statement itself an inspiration for me. And the level of commitment and the passion I saw it from him, and it actually inspired me. So and also I take this time to thank Glenn's neighbor for allowing Glenn to connect you, connect with us right now. So thank you so much, Glenn's neighbor, and welcome, Glenn. Welcome to 1 Minute Motivation page. So before we dive into the topic, Glenn, I have a small request for you. Um, well, some of the questions might touch sensitive areas in your life, which you might not like to share it openly. So we completely understand it and we respect that. And if you are not comfortable answering any of those type of questions, please let me know. And I'm sure our viewers will also understand and respect your decision. So let's begin, Glenn. So
Okay.
being a father, and being a father is the greatest thing in the world, in my personal opinion. And I can vouch that I'm a father myself. For me, fatherhood is unconditional love, giving everything to our child without expecting anything. That's my personal opinion. To begin with, what is fatherhood to you, Glenn? What does it mean to you?
For me, as you said, it's unconditional love. Yes, that is number one. That tops all the list. But at the same time, you have to mold them. Mold them. You have to be involved in their lives. Be a friend as a parent, but also a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Play with them, share time, involve in what they do, activities, uh, try to observe them, uh, and teach them discipline. So as a father, I feel is love is yes,
Mm-hmm.
but you also have to be present always when it's needed. So that's what my opinion as a single father is.
I like the last statement. You have to be present uh, with your kid. Sometimes with our work, with our pressure and all, what's going inside our head, even though we are physically there, we are not present with them. I really like the fact that you highlighted that area. So I know that you are working for a larger conglomerate here in Sri Lanka. And being in the corporate, you have to invest significant time for your organization, right? So my question is to you: what is the biggest challenge of balancing your work, balancing your career by being a single father, and how do you do that?
So I do work for one of the largest conglomerates in Sri Lanka, and it's tough. It's very tough, especially when you're a single parent, and you have to. When you go to work, you should not take your troubles, but sometimes you have to in certain instances. Then how do you manage to finish your work on time so that you can be back home to spend some time?
Hmm.
So because kids are looking for you always. Now my daughter uh, always needs me to go to sleep.
Hmm.
uh, my son is okay. I mean, he's not yet turned 3 years, but my daughter always needs me to go to bed. So sometimes she will stay up if she can, but if she goes to school, most of the time she comes tired. So early morning, my day starts to work at 5:30 in the morning. 5:30, I wake up, wash my daughter, get her ready, and both of us go in the same school van. I get on top of the road and go to work. So biggest challenge is time.
Hmm.
How are you going to manage time? Because when you're working, time flies, and then you have to give a lot of time because that is your bread and butter. Because you are now become the sole breadwinner of the family.
Hmm.
So if you don't give your time and if you don't work, the food is not going to fall on the table. So I have to make sure that I balance that, be present, do my job well, focus on those factors, and try to finish my work on time.
Hmm.
It's a big challenge, of course, and to work hard. Like most of the time, as a single parent, we have twice the hard work, twice the stress, so and twice the number of troubles
Hmm.
a normal parent of two will have, because you can equally distribute. But when you're on a single role as a father, you need to be able to not to take house problems also, but at the same time, if you take, how you're going to manage it. I mean,
Yeah.
while you're doing your work, focus on your work, finish it, and then maybe at your break time, think about or call your parents or whatever, or your child, and see how they are doing, because sometimes if they're sick, then you have to occasionally call every time and see how they are doing.
Hmm.
So for me, the biggest challenge is time. How I manage my work and how do I come on time to be present at home as well for the little number of hours before they go to bed.
Okay. So, since you emphasize on the fact about time, so how do you manage time with the busy schedule that you are going through?
Sometimes it's tough now, because you need time for yourself as well. So once you go to office, you tend to get involved in your office work, and then after by 5:30, when you just look for the time when the office is going to finish 5:30.
Yes.
Sometimes you won't be able to finish, sometimes you have to stay back,
Yes.
uh, and then at that time, then you need to handle it on a different level. I mean, of course, your mother, because for me, my mother is only there to take care of kids.
Okay.
So then I have to always rely on her and say that I'm getting late. But or else, for me, I try to clog out at 5:30 or 6 maximum,
Hmm.
and then at the same time uh, go to a gym. I mean, I just
Wow.
go to make myself fit enough,
Okay.
because kids are growing. I need to be strong enough to run behind them. They jump on your
Exactly.
back. They need you to run around, uh, feeding, everything. I do. When I go home, it's me. Kids want me to feed them. They want me to behave behind them. They want me to wash them. They want me to dress them. They won't allow my mother even to do it. Everything is da 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 da, do it. So it's very tough, but somehow I manage with God's grace that I'm able to do it.
Mhm. That's amazing. I mean, that you narrated that in a very, very beautiful way. Surely, with God's grace and with your effort. and your commitment and you're managing this. That's amazing. So this is the first time you being a father, and at the same time, it is the first time you being a mother. So
True.
you have to fit into dual roles, right? Me
Correct.
as a father, uh, I'm still finding difficulty to be the father my daughter wanted me to be. Sometimes it's a struggle, and that's the honest truth. And on the other hand, you have two beautiful children, a girl and a boy, and one is turning 3. You said. How old is the other one?
My daughter is 5 years old. She'll be turning 6 in December.
So 5 and 3. And how do you do this? How do you do dual roles as one single soul?
To do a dual role, it's challenging because uh, you have to think as a mother.
Hello,
Hello, yes. It seems your video is a bit. Is it paused? Ah, it's working. Is it okay now?
something happened.
Your video seems to be stuck. Is my video stuck? Hello. Hello. Oh, neither. Live in now. Okay. Okay.
Line, right?
Yeah.
Right. So sorry, friends. So sorry. When you work with technology, these kind of things happen. So coming back to my question, so how do you do the dual role as one soul as a single parent?
It's challenging because my greatest, biggest challenges and my fear is my daughter. Because for a daughter, a mother is more important. Because uh, a way a woman thinks applies to a daughter because while she's growing, because that's how, because mothers are normally from birth until their elderhood and until they are old enough, they are called nurturers.
Mhm.
But fathers are not nurturers, mothers are always nurturers. So they know, it's like they have that impulse, they know how to connect, they know how to bring up, because as a woman they know exactly what are the things, what are the changes that happen in their lives, etc. But as a father, to fit into both roles, it's very difficult.
Mhm.
So I need to I read a lot of material, but the real action comes to be at that proper time, at the real time, where when a problem or a situation arises, the real time, on that spot, how you react and what you say and what you do is more important
Mhm.
to your children.
Mhm.
So as a father or a mother, if the child gets hurt, how do you respond to it? Now mothers are normally nurturers, they just rush into it. So
Yeah.
same way. So how what do I do this? The same thing when my son falls, uh, as a father, sometimes, okay, I know as a boy, okay, when I fall, okay, fine, get up, brush yourself and just walk up.
Mhm.
So uh, sometimes, even though I try to put that into actions, it's tough. I say when my son falls, okay, get up, it's fine, and brush himself off. But still, he will hook onto me, and I have to carry him, wash him, put some medicine. My daughter is also same. If my daughter falls, she gets a slice. Dada, put medicine, put medicine. So I have to take her, go put medicine. So, and it's tough because mothers know what to do.
Mhm.
Single father, for a single father is blessed in this world. It's less talked about. We are like silent heroes. I mean, we don't, nobody talk about fathers and how to do it, because they see a single father, they say, I don't think he can do a better job. How can he
Mhm.
bring up a child without a mother? Uh, a child needs a mother. Children needs a mother if you have to. So how do you cope up with this? Because even when my daughter, when she goes, when in the initial stage, when she go to school, when she see parents coming, both mother and father comes, she sees it, she feels it, but she
Mhm.
doesn't. She doesn't. Understands, but she doesn't come and tell me. So how do I connect with her to let her speak to me? So even for her also, it's now she's 5 years, she can understand to some level,
Yeah.
but for me to emotionally connect with them is really a tough thing to do.
Mhm.
So yes, it's very tough.
So you highlighted something. So you said emotionally connecting with them is tough. So can you share your experience? Like, how do you do that? How do you connect with your daughter, connect with your son emotionally as a mother, like in a mother's perspective? So what are the things that you do?
So now, from a small age, I was brought up in a children's home. So at a very young age of, like, when you turn 10 years in the children's home, you get, if there are smaller children younger than you, will say, if there is child of like 5 years, the boarding gives you one child for you to take care. So that small child, so you'll be the big brother, so you will wash him, you will change his clothes. So that is where all the practice came into me. So for me, it just came natural. So I just have it sometimes. When I speak with other mothers and all, sometimes the practicality which I have, which is has come from me, because I don't, maybe God gave that uh, uh, talent for me, that I have it, to be a nurturer in some extent. So to connect with my daughter emotionally, to be a friend to her. So I always try to be with her as much as possible, spend time, uh, take them out, play with them. There are sometimes, of course, brother and sister fights. So
Yes.
how do I separate, how do I not blame the other and shout at the other? So I have
Mhm.
to see how can I connect at that point. If I'm going to shout at one person, the other is going to feel bad about it. So how do I connect? So what I do is, I when they fight or if something happens, I observe a lot.
Mhm.
uh, Even when my mother shouts and all, when they do so many naughty things, I observe a lot.
Mhm.
I keep observing them, and then sometimes, of course, you get anger, but I over time I've started to be more patient. So when they do certain things, I just calm for some time, and then I always take my daughter, if she has done the mistake, I bring her close to me and ask, why do you do it? She
Mhm.
will smile at me and say, I did not do it. I said, no, I saw you do it. But no, you did something to her. Then she will complain. I said, okay, fine. But what you did was right or wrong? So she says, I I won't do it again, Dada. I will not do it again. And she goes and plays it uh, with her brother. So that's how I have learned. I have learned to just observe and try not to uh, like shout or try to separate from both of them and say one is wrong, one is right.
Mhm.
So that's how I try to connect with them.
That's a beautiful technique. So I'm going to use it as well when my daughter does something wrong. So I'm going to sit with her rather than getting spiked and pointing out the learning and improvements area where she can share with me. I mean, that's a beautiful learning. Thank you so much, Claire. And this is beginning of the conversation, I told you there are certain topics that I'm going to ask, rather questions that I'm going to ask. So some sensitive areas, and I'm sure you all had a valid reason to go on your separate ways, and your kids are too young to understand this. How did the kids cope up with your divorce? If you're comfortable speaking about it, you can. If not, we can go to the next question.
No, it's fine. Uh, so far, they don't know. My daughter uh, knows to some extent that there is a distance between mother and father, but my son, he doesn't know because he was just only like 1 year old. He doesn't know, so he's just everything is for me dada dada only. So, and sometimes he doesn't know his mother, he calls my mother mother,
Hmm.
so mama. So my daughter, yes. So at that, when it happened, it was really a very uh, it was a thing that I never expected, and I fell to the lowest point in my life. I like hit rock bottom. I did not know what to do, how to move forward. Uh, uh, how am I going to take care of two kids? One was small, just only a year. Another one was 3 years. So how am I going to do these things? How am I going to, financially support them, bring them up without a mother? So these questions keep coming at me. So the first few months is really hard for me.
Hmm.
So then uh, I also went under depression for a slight period, but then later on I started talking to myself and saying, if I'm going to let something which happened from outside ruin inside of me, then it's like a boat. I mean, just an example which I have just learned. Like if you think you're a boat, if you let water inside, it's going to sink. So the same way, I also thought, if I'm going to let what is outward to control what's inside me, I'm going to fall. So I made myself strong from inside. Prayer was one. I did a lot of prayer and watched a lot of motivational videos to keep me on the going, and focus on my children. I made them the centerpiece for me. I didn't want to look at anything else, and I I told to myself that I will try to be the best dad that I can, try to provide, and slowly in time they also taught me certain things, to be how to be patient, uh, how to communicate with them, play with them.
Hmm.
When your kid is if your child is making a building blocks, you may be seeing it as wrong, it's not done properly, you want to uh, break it and make it again, but still if, allow them to be on their own. So that time which happened to me was really tough, but the way I got out of it was through a lot of prayer and motivation videos, and also started to love myself. So when I started to love myself, I felt that I don't need another to make me happy, because I had two gifts with me to make me more happier.
That's beautiful, Glenn. I mean, like you correctly said, many people go through all these challenges. Many people face this like real time in this world. And my take from your discussion is one thing. Number one is absolutely right. You need to love yourself and you need to occupy yourself. How I see how you occupied yourself is through motivational, watching motivational videos, and by praying. By praying, you are getting inside your inside your life, inside yourself, and you're connecting with the higher power. So, and also the third point is that you divert your focus towards your children, and these three learnings are amazing. I mean, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. uh, I really wish we had more time. I think it's we have about another 5 6 minutes to conclude, but uh, let this question be the last one. As a mother and a father, what is the message, a single message that you can give to our viewers, our friends who are watching you right now?
Well, there are many factors, but to top it up as one word, it won't come to my mind, but I will say uh, love and be present is very important because uh, children look up to you. So
Mm,
how you walk and talk is what they are going to observe, and if when they see you, the way you behave, the way you do things, the way you talk, the way you handle matters, is how they see that, okay, my father is doing this. Okay, this is the way how you interact with people, how do you go around with neighbors, how these are many things that sometimes we tend to forget. But to discipline ourselves as a single parent is very, very important, because everything lies on you. Because if you do not discipline yourself and you go away, it's going to be, you're not going to bring anything to the table to say to your children, because
mm,
they will look at you as, oh no, he doesn't care, he doesn't give time, he doesn't spend time, he's always working, or he's busy with friends, and so on. So discipline is yes, and love, because you tend to forget at sometimes, because when you are single, you forget many things, and you want to do many things. You want to go sometimes with friends and maybe enjoy some time, or you want to go somewhere, but you cannot do those. So my advice to single parent is love unconditionally, be disciplined, be present is very important. And on top of that, I will say you need to believe in yourself
mhm,
that you can do it. Because if you have self-doubt saying that no, I cannot do this, like, because there are a lot of single mothers out there, I mean, they do it, so why can't a single father do it? I
mm.
mean, it may be just a gender question asking, no, that he cannot do it. But no, if you believe in yourself, you can do it. You just need to see the proper support you can get, or advice from maybe of your mother, or from your aunties, or from other people, and then you work on it. So yes, that's what I will advise single fathers.
That's amazing, Glenn, and thank you so much for ending this discussion on a higher note. Believing in yourself, unconditionally be focused and be present, and these are the four things that I have learned from this discussion. I really wish that we had more time to discuss, but it's actually an honor to have you here with us, sharing your knowledge, sharing your personal life with our viewers, with our audience. And thank you. I'm eternally grateful for that, Glenn.
So I want to
Friends,
thank you as well for giving me this opportunity to share my story, and I thank you for all my friends who have connected, and that who have supported me and being there with me throughout my times. There are so many people. So I want to thank you for everyone, and as you, Hashita, thank you very much.
much appreciated. Friends, I really hope you enjoyed this talk with Glenn. Drop in the comment section your thoughts, your insights, and the things we can, as a community, improve serve you better. You can connect with us in all three social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And hopefully, it will take about another 1 or 2 days to upload this live interview. All the interviews that we have done, it's there on YouTube. And connect with us to get updates and more events and programs like this. Friends, if you think this discussion can actually can actually add value to someone or change someone's life, please do share with your friends and family. You'll never know, a single click of a button can actually change someone's life. And thank you so much. And until next time, be brave, be phenomenal, sending Lord of love and blessings. Thank you.
Thank you.